An Alex-less episode.
Where you at, Alex?
Let's go. God, man, it's just awesome that Alex just gave me permission to run the Google Meet thing and everything. That was definitely a mistake, because you will not see Alex for 2 weeks, and heck, if I'm even feeling like it, you might not even see him for even longer, because I'm the face of Tailgate Talks, not that carny piece of garbage. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I got myself a new guest for this week's episode. I believe it's episode 41-ish. So, good friend of mine, Isaac Cicela. Isaac, welcome to the show.
How's it going, Mike?
Fantastic. Just Alex is not here, and it's just wonderful. But yeah. So we're probably about one more person from our Greenville friend chat to get on the show. Because now that you're on now, because Caden was on. Griffin was on. I don't think he's in the chat though. Bryce, Ickis. Yeah. I think it's like one more.
Some of them are elusive. We need to get Ross on here.
Oh, Ross! I forgot about Ross. How could I forget about Ross? Wow. I'm ashamed. I forgot about Ross, but it's okay. His parents forgot about him too. But so a little different. Got the mic right here. But. So, Isaac, you are a fan of a bunch of Ohio sports, correct? So you're a fan of the Guardians, Ohio State.
Yeah, way better than Michigan Bryce.
Oh, you don't want to mess with Bryce, because like Alex has been messing with Bryce, and Bryce has been hitting left jabs at him. Did you see that shirt he had on or whatever?
Yeah, like, I did see his shirt.
Yeah, and you're in Ohio State, because that's to you too. Because
I mean, if it's a one-time thing here and there, you got to buy a shirt. But
when
you win almost every game for a decade, it's nothing new.
That's true. But so we can talk about a little bit of Ohio sports if you want to, even though I'll put a little to no effort to the Browns, because I don't care about the Browns. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm a Steelers fan. I mean, that's the history of it. Steelers fans don't care about the Browns. Browns don't care about the Steelers. It's back and forth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But first, got to talk about the Buccos first, unfortunately. But they actually won last night, 9-7. 2 comebacks. I will say this real quick. Luis Ortiz, she gets sent down. That's right. She gets sent down. And I think they should call up Quinn Priester, because, once again, Mike Burrows and JT Brudebaker are not going to play next year. So why why on earth is Quinn Priester not out? Like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It's like, okay, how can I put this so then you can understand? It's like, okay, wait, how many years did C.J. Stroud play at Ohio State?
He was there 3.
3. Who was the quarterback before him?
Justin Fields.
That's right. Okay. Say, and I think Justin Fields is good.
Yeah.
But say he was just average at best, right? Probably like a 7th round quarterback, like if that what's
like a Michigan
happened.
quarterback.
Ooh, oh, I like this guy. Here, what? Here, let's turn the computer more that way because I feel like you're out of the shot a little bit. But say in the system you had Fields and C.J. Stroud the same, and C.J. Stroud generational everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Ohio State just decided to play Fields, and Fields has just been sucking all year. Yet C.J. Stroud was proven that he's ready, but they just won't put him in. Like, how would you feel? Like, they just refuse to put in the guy that should be in, but the guy that shouldn't be in is playing all the reps.
I mean, I feel like the Pirates management's just been, it's been rough for a couple of years. I mean, even signing Brian Reynolds, that's something that should have happened a while ago, and he should have got more money. I mean, bringing touchbacks good for the fans, and
for now,
you know, getting one of my guys, Carlos Slamtana, help walk you guys walk it off the other day.
God, I will. God, what was that? What was that dance? It was like something like punching the ground or something.
I will miss him.
I don't even know. Hey, you can have him back if you want to give us Shane Bieber.
Oh, don't worry. The Guardians front office, they're...
But, okay, here's the thing with the Guardians, I feel like. Okay, do you guys trade everybody? Yeah, but you always ask for good returns.
I mean,
we
rebuild like every 4 years.
Yeah,
and we get good players. I mean, right now we got Jimenez at second base. We just signed him to another, like a 5-year deal.
Yep.
It would have been sick to have him and Lindor in the infield, but, you know, got to let people walk. I mean, we had Clevenger, we had Kluber, all gone, and right now we're about to let Shane Bieber walk. So, I don't know who's going to be our pitcher. We got Tristan McKenzie, who's not bad, but...
No, he's not bad. I think he'd probably be the next guy up for the number 1 guy. And you guys just let Zach Plesac go, which he's has not been good this year. But...
I mean, we got Colossi, best save in baseball right now. I mean, I know he might have lost us one of the last few games, but, you know, he does what he needs to do. I feel like a lot more players in the MLB right now don't get a shot at the All-Star game because of the fan vote. Yeah. Like, Mike Trout, he's a good player, but he's not having an amazing year this year. I mean, you'll see some players that are just not getting chances, and then you'll see...
Brian Reynolds is better this year. At me. Please, I dare you, you pores.
I mean, then you see teams like the Rangers, where their fans like to vote, and you have 4 Rangers starting in the infield for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that in Toronto, I mean, there's not really any Canada MLB teams, so they get the majority of the vote. But
that's a fair way of looking at it, I would say. And, like, another thing, too, it's like you look at it, like, though David Bednar is now an All-Star, at first he didn't get the vote, which was, like, confusing, because he's, like, one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best closers in the league. And if you look at it, it's not his fault the Pirates suck. Yeah. He's getting put in there when he can. So the fan voting can be a little outrageous, I will say. And it's like, I don't know, because it's like another thing, too. For example, Nolan Arenado is the starting third baseman for the NL All-Star team this year. And NL All-Star team this year. I thought I screwed. That was one. That's the first time ever. I thought I screwed it up, but then I like rethought of what I just said, but I didn't really screw it up. I've never done that before. But no, he's been struggling defensively for the first time in his career this year, and I think Ke'Bryan Hayes, like fielding wise, is way better. So if we're going off of that, I think Ke'Bryan Hayes is better than Nolan Arenado. So like do I think Ke'Bryan Hayes should be the starter of the All-Star? No, but I feel like there's a better. I like Manny Machado. There you go, Manny Machado.
Ramirez.
Jose, yeah, but that's the AL though.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like Manny Machado, he's having a decent year, but I feel like because he didn't get the fan vote is because the Padres aren't doing that hot this year. Yeah. So it's like I don't know, and neither the Cardinals aren't doing hot this year. So I'm kind of just confused of why Arenado's the starting third base. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So the fan vote, I can understand that now. Yeah, you're 100% right. And like another thing you look at that too. Is the year Brian Reynolds started in the All-Star game. He didn't get the vote at first.
Yeah.
He got
and then
it
you
for the
see
injury.
Some teams on fire this year that are just like don't have really anybody. Right. Like the Rays are killing it right now. And they almost have they have very few people in the All-Star game. I mean, the Guardians were lead of the AL Central, but they're one game back right now. But they've been playing good ball in June so far. Close that out. I mean, Pirates they were doing good. I mean, they're kind of falling off now.
Yeah, but like way better than in May. My God, the fall off from April to May, Jesus. But I think there's been up and down. Like they're trying. The management team this year is probably the most they've ever tried during the rebuild. Like through this entire process is this year. It's the most they've ever tried because they paid their best player. They called up O'Neal Cruz, though he's hurt. They called up Henry Davis. They called up Nick Gonzalez. So they're trying. It's just once again, the coaching is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Derek Sheldon was invited to the All-Star game. Like, how? I don't understand. Like, he's not good as a manager. So why is he there? I understand. Okay, I understand why, because he was like friends with like the Yankees coach or whatever, or not the Yankees coach, the Phillies coach, I think. So it's like, okay, whatever. But like, I just think the management of so many players, like Roansy Contreras, for example, great in the minors, gets to the Pirates, terrible, just terrible, and I blame that on coaching. So I don't know, we'll see. But this game against the Dodgers last night, I actually stayed up and watched it. Andrew McCutchen. You ready for this stat? 0 for 6 last night. You heard that right. 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts. Yikes. Brian Reynolds, 2 for 5. He actually had an RBI. Henry Davis was 1 for 4. Jack Sawinski, 2 for 3. Nick Gonzalez, who's been just killing it at shortstop and second base, 3 for 4. That's your guy at second base when O'Neal Cruz comes back. You heard it here first. Jared Chirillo. So I listened to this podcast called Ron Munter, right? That's kind of how I get most of my Pirate opinions. Like, not that I know, like, I'm not smart enough to make my own opinions, but, like, you know, you just build your opinion off of what other people say, and then you go, do you agree, disagree? Like, that's how I kind of do it a little bit. They said this Jared Chirillo guy, who's playing good, pretty decent third base, because Key Brian Hayes is actually on the injured list right now. So he went 2 for 5 this game. They said he could be like the Josh Harrison of the Pirates. I don't know about that, because here's the thing. We are going to deal Carlos Santana at the deadline. It is going to happen. And as we should. He's older, and you just can't take that risk with an older guy.
I mean, I think they're going to let McCutchen go.
Yeah, shut up. There's the one older guy that I'll take consideration to keep. But
he's been slow.
Yeah, but I'll take a 271 average, whatever. But when Santana's gone, who's gonna play? Who's gonna play first base? So I guess they're in their mind, Jared Chirillo is gonna play that first base until I guess I don't know, Martinez gets called up. But Josh Palacios had the game winning hit there, and they got the win. So did you see on Twitter? So Clayton Kershaw was originally supposed to be in the All-Star game, and that's the guy who David Bednar is replacing. So they announced Bednar was an all-star. They gave him IC Light. And he actually left like 4 cans of IC Light in the Dodgers dugout for Clayton Kershaw, which was a classy move from the Renegade. But do you remember Austin Hedges from when he was at the Guardians at all?
No.
Okay, so, last night when the Pirates won, and then they were walking towards each other. Which, by the way, that final strike call, that was not a strike, but thank you. They go up, and their celebration was Bednar literally just hit him in the head like this with the mouth. He just went, boom! I don't know. But as I try to look up the pitching probables for now until the end of the All-Star game, Guardians. I'm going to be real here. They're going to trade Shane Bieber next week.
I mean...
Or no, not next. In a few weeks. I don't know why.
I thought they were until the June. I mean, because beforehand, our playoff hopes were kind of getting slim. People were wondering, what are they doing? Mm-hmm. And then after June, we have the number 1 batting average in June. Like number 2 or number 4 on base percentage. We're about to sweep the Braves, one of the top teams in the MLB. Hand the Braves their first sweep in a month.
I think the last team that swept the Braves was the Athletics. I believe so.
And I mean, we play them tonight after a walk-off yesterday or the day before. So, I mean, the Guardians are on fire. I mean, I got tickets to go see them play the Pirates at PNC Park.
Which game?
Going to the first game.
Oh, so Josh Bell's return.
17.
If he's still a Guardian by then, he'll his first appearance at PNC Park since being traded. But
I mean, it'll be Bell, and you guys have Santana, so
that's fair. Hey, you want to trade back?
Yeah. Josh Bell's been killing it this year, though.
Yeah. That Josh Bell trade was just terrible with the Pirates, but I've already discussed that to length. But
I mean, I think we sweep you guys, but we'll find out.
We'll see, because that's what, August?
July.
Oh, July.
17th, yep.
17th, that's coming up. So,
but I mean, I've been to a couple Pirates games this year, and I've yet to see them lose.
Oh, there you go. You just gotta go to more Pirate games.
Last time I was there, they hit a grand slam.
Yeah, Marcano. Which, by the way, Caden calls him Marciano. It's like, that's not how you pronounce his name. It's Ticapita Marcano. My dad mispronounced his name. He says Ticapita, like Pikachu, like God, I don't know. But all right. So looking at the pitching probables, and to be fair here, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna read the Guardians' next pitching probables. All right. So tonight against Atlanta, Mike Soroka versus Cal. How do you say it? Cal Quadrille? Is that how you say his last name?
Let's look here.
Cal Quadrille. Blah blah blah. Why
I'm not gonna lie. We have some pitchers this year who just, I don't know. They're nothing like we used to have. Last year we had a deep run. I mean, I think we would have beat the Yankees had that game not gotten rescheduled.
That's right.
Speaking of the Yankees, I mean, the Yankees are just they're not there yet.
No, and who was the team? The Cowboys. I called the Cowboys the New York Yankees of the NFL because they just built up this entire big team and they just can't win that big one at the end. The Yankees just can't win the big one at the end. They have Aaron Judge, which they keep retaining and keeping. They have Santana. They have Stanton. They're in the running to get Shohei Ohtani, so they need to start winning here. Like, what are you doing, Mike? Like, what? Like, I don't know. The Yankees are just ridiculous.
I mean,
like,
where are we at here? In the last couple years, I mean, I've seen the Browns win as many playoff games as the Cowboys.
Hey, I ain't gonna say anything. That's the Cowboys. Like, come on. Come on. Really?
I mean, I went to both Browns-Steelers games last year, and I think if Watson looks good this year, I think it'll be some good games. I mean, the Steelers they have a lot of people coming back. I mean, they're finally gonna have Calvin Ridley. I mean, George Pickens coming off a good rookie year. I think you guys are gonna be pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll be solid. And by the way, Ridley's with the Jaguars.
I'm not
Calvin
really Calvin Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they got Austin. Like, and I will say this. I will be a fair man, though. I think he will be improved this year because he's actually getting the day one starts. If Kenny Pickett doesn't show progression, there's no hiding it anymore. There's no excuses anymore.
I mean, it's not even that. I just feel like it's going to be hard for him to get reps, especially with Allen Robinson on the roster now. You figure him and George Pickens going to be 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put Deontay in the slot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you have Austin in the 4.
Most likely.
But we'll see what kind of plays they run. You know, they have Matt Canada back, so
don't remind me.
Jet sweep here, jet sweep there.
Don't remind me. But yeah,
4th and 12. Let's hand it up the middle.
Okay. Kenny has put on muscle, by the way, like 20 some pounds or whatever. So he shouldn't get hurt that much this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the targets. He's got the reps. I think it'll be different. We'll see. I told Alex this earlier. Okay, the best quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes. It's not even close. But in terms of all the quarterbacks in the division, I think our division has the best because all the teams have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think this year, the division is still going to have to go through Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have a well-established team. They have their quarterback. They have a very good offense who can put up points. It's going to be a matter of who can outscore them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone in the division has a chance. I think the Ravens are going to have a little bit of an off year. I think they finished last in the division.
Really?
I think Browns and Steelers finish around 10, 6, 9, 8, like somewhere in that range. But yeah, I think Cincinnati wins 10, 11 games.
I can see that. It'll definitely be interesting. Do I think now? Here's the thing. Do I think anybody in our division is going to win the Super Bowl? I mean, the Bengals are the best option here, but I'm gonna go no.
I mean, I think
I'm gonna go no.
see if the Dolphins get Dalvin Cook,
Mhm.
where they're projected he's going to go, the Dolphins are going to be a very solid team. I just don't know if they can put it all together with Tua.
Mhm.
Like when he's healthy, he's all right, but I mean, he gets concussions left and right, and then they got to rely on Teddy Bridgewater, who's just not a franchise quarterback.
No, he's not. He's not. He's a bridge.
I mean, especially in a division where you got to go through Josh Allen and the Bills, who are going to be good.
Yeah, but like
Patriots are. I mean, they're an average team.
Here's the thing about the Bills
and the Jets. I mean,
Jets are solid. The Jets are solid.
The Jets are going to score some points. That's for sure.
Which, of course, they got Aaron Rodgers, so that's going to help. But like, I'm talking about not even looking at Aaron Rodgers. You think about the team they've built. They could be a problem.
I mean, their defense is already good.
Yeah.
And then you put on Aaron Rodgers with Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, Garrett Wilson had a heck of a year with terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You watch. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be in the running for most receiving yards this year.
It's possible. And you can't forget about Izzy Abandakanda.
Did he end up on the Jets?
He ended up on the Jets.
Abandakanda.
Izzy to the hizzy. But before, okay. I will say, I'll ask you this question, but first, I gotta get through the pitcher probables first. It's about the Bills, so remind me. So, for the Pirates tonight, Osvaldo Bibbio will face Bobby Miller, and then on Thursday, do the Guardians play? Yeah, they start their series against Kansas City. Jordan Lyles versus Tanner Beebe. The Pirates, Johan Oviedo versus Julio Arias. And then Friday, Rich Hill versus undecided.
Rich Hill.
Dick Mountain.
What a
baby.
guy.
Dick Mountain. For the Guardians game, Daniel Lynch versus Aaron Sival. That's actually as far as I think it. Oh no, okay, no. I just gotta hit a button. See me with technology. Yeah, Rich Hill's definitely gonna get dealt. He's 43, but I don't know what we'll get out of him. But he's gonna get dealt. But Luis Ortiz versus Zach Davies, and then undecided versus Shane Bieber on Sunday. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because the All-Star game is coming up here soon. So we'll leave it at that. So for the remaining time, football. So, question I was gonna ask, and I got plenty of football questions to ask you. Alex asked me this question last week. I think it was last week. Do you think Stephon Diggs is starting to become a drama queen with the stuff coming out about him because he's saying he doesn't like his role with the offense? My argument was, you have a generational quarterback. Figure it out. I think he's becoming a drama queen.
I mean,
if you want to blame coaching,
I think he's definitely frustrated with their lack of production in the postseason. But, I mean, he's getting almost 100 receptions a year. I mean, that's a lot of receptions. So, I think they just got to put it together. I mean, I think Gabe Davis on the other side definitely helps. Last year he had 108 receptions. Like, I don't know what else he needs to get there. I mean, they're still struggling to find a run game. They've always had a mediocre running back. I mean, Cook, he's coming off the rookie year. I mean, hopefully he progresses. But they need to get some more work there. I mean, it's just their defense competing with the Chiefs and the Bengals. Usually, the Bills, their secondary is not bad. It's just if they can stay healthy. Yeah. I mean, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they were both out. I mean, those are some top defensive players when they're healthy, but it's just frustration, I think, because the Bills, they could win a Super Bowl if they get there.
Yeah.
It's just
hard. It's just hard because you think about who's in their division.
I mean, defense chokes with a minute left. Really nothing they can do there.
Yeah. And, like, I think they're. I definitely think they're capable. They just got to break out of this funk they're in. That's all they got to do.
Yeah.
That's all they got to do. But yeah. So, looking at the rest for the NFL before I move on to college football, how do you think? So it looks like, from what I've heard with OTAs and everything, CJ Stroud's looking pretty good.
See,
So how do you think he's gonna go? How do you think he's gonna fare in the NFL this year in year one?
I think he'll do all right.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, the Texans are awful.
Yep.
That's why they had the first pick.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they get maybe 6 wins on but CJ Stroud's gonna have a lot of work to do. I mean, Bryce Young, I think, is gonna look more comfortable in that offense with the Panthers, just because, I mean, he's got some options now. I mean, they just picked up Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen.
Yep.
So they're definitely giving him help.
Mhm.
So I think in his system, he'll be progressing a little faster than CJ Stroud. And I think CJ Stroud's going to have a lot more weight on his shoulders.
Yep.
Granted, there's really nobody to work with.
Mhm.
But, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I do think, I don't know, definitely the two biggest names to come out of the draft, quarterback-wise, was Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. But here's another name that people, I feel like, aren't really talking about that much. Anthony Richardson. I think he'll be all right.
I think he's going to take the Colts, and he's going to really excel this year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to change the style of the offense. I mean, the past two quarterbacks they had, Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers, two guys that just can't move. And now you have a really athletic quarterback who, I mean, killed every aspect of the combine. I think they're really going to have to, open up their offense. I mean, they have Jonathan Taylor, Pittman, who's actually shown himself to be a pretty above-average wide receiver. I mean, they just got to get more weapons. But their O-line, one of the best in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he has a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely has, and from practices and everything from what I've heard was he's looking pretty good. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But and another, I feel like also too, defensively, like, okay, the Texans are not ready yet. Obviously, like you said, I agree with 6 wins. But this year's draft was a start. I feel like.
Yeah.
It was a start.
Pick up Will Anderson too.
Yeah,
I mean, Will Anderson's
that's crazy.
Gonna be a huge addition to that defense. That
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the last couple of years, Texan fans gotta be being tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you let JJ walk, you let DeAndre walk. Massage Watson decides not to play. So I mean, you're just letting all your players walk. I mean, Brandon Cook's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah. So, all right. You already talked about some Ohio State.
I think, granted, if Kyle McCord can step up at quarterback, I mean, we have rated the number 1 and number 2 returning receiver.
Mm-hmm.
We got Marvin Harrison, who has a chance to win the Heisman.
Yep.
I mean,
I think he will.
I think he has a really good chance. I mean, Emeka Ibuka, it's a name you don't hear, but he's a solid wide receiver. I mean, you got Julian Fleming still. You got our tight end Kate Stoyer back. Mm-hmm. You have our running back. Mm-hmm. You have, I mean, we have a lot of potential to score a lot of points. It's just if we can figure out the QB situation.
Is your kicker back?
I hope not. If that kicker hits that field goal, we win the national.
Yeah, because TCU was not going to win that national championship.
I mean, we almost beat Georgia, and Georgia destroyed TCU.
Yeah.
I mean, TCU destroyed that other team. I can't remember what their name is.
Who was it?
I mean, they were awful.
Yeah, it was Georgia. It was Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and
I don't know. Michigan found their way in there somehow. Them dirty birds.
But was it Michigan?
Yeah, but Jim Harbaugh and his stupid khakis. Bryce will like that one.
Stupid khaki.
Michigan, I mean, they're still going to be really, really tough. I mean, God. Their fan base started a petition to raise money to keep their star players on the team. I mean, Blake Corum's coming back, who is a really good running back. Donovan Edwards is still there, who's a nice back as well. He reminds me of Leonard Fournette. I think J.J. McCarthy's really going to take off as quarterback. He's not going to win the Heisman because they're going to lose to Ohio State this year. But I think he's going to be in the running. I think it's going to be between Marvin Harrison, J.J. McCarthy, and, I mean, of course, the guy from USC. I can't think of the quarterback's name. Williams. You know his name?
Say that again?
Let me look. But I mean, I just think it's going to be between one of them.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, he won the Heisman last year. I don't know if he just Caleb Williams. I don't know if he quite deserved it. I mean, USC had a bunch of transfers. I mean, you saw your boy Jordan Addison go there. But I mean,
why do you got to bring him up?
USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten next year. I think it's going to be really interesting because right now the Big Ten has an East and a West conference, and usually it's Ohio State or Michigan versus a team on the West like Wisconsin or Iowa. But without the conferences, it's just going to be the best two teams. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see a lot of Ohio State and Michigan. I think USC is going to have a run, but I mean they're going to have to fly across the country and play in the cold.
Yeah. So I'm actually, even though I don't care about his opinion and he's suspended, but I'm actually texting Alex right now. And I'm gonna ask him this question because I'm gonna forget the next time we're both on the show, which could be never. But so I want to see what he thinks. Who has the best chance of winning the Heisman between Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, Corum, and who was the other name you said? Did you say another name or was that it?
Michigan's quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
And we'll see what he says.
I mean, it does kind of suck that Ohio State and Penn State don't play each other every year anymore.
Really? They don't?
No. So, in the Big Ten starting next year, every Big Ten team has to play everyone within 2 years. So, they protect some rivalries, like Ohio State and Michigan will still play every year. But other than that, they'll alternate who they play. I mean, I think it's really going to help the Big Ten, getting USC, just to really help the strength of schedule. The ACC, I think, still needs some work.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame definitely needs to join.
Yep.
Because right now it's Pitt, Clemson, Florida State when they're really good, but I mean that's been a while.
North Carolina's all right.
Yeah,
they're fine.
But when you're looking at big teams to beat, you definitely need Notre Dame in there.
Yeah. I agree. Here's the thing with Pitt too. Caden kind of is on the same boat as me with this. We don't think this year is going to be that great for Pitt because they're going through a quarterback phase post Kenny Pickett era. We don't know if it's going to be Phil Jurkovic or the other guy that we got from Penn State. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
it's like Christian something. But it's going to be. We'll see what happens. I hope Gavin Bartholomew stays for 2024. I think he can seriously do some damage and really up his draft stock.
I think he could be a first or second round pick.
Yeah, if he stays. I think he's got to do the Kenny Pickett thing where he has to stay the entire time he can. So this is what Alex said. Most definitely Caleb Williams. Kid is an absolute dog. He's got to be everyone's preseason favorite for right now. He's probably going to bring home the Maxwell and O'Brien too. So what do you think about Alex's statement there? Or what do you think? Because he is an Ohio State fan too. But he's still saying Caleb Williams.
See, this year with USC not really having that tough of a schedule, I think Caleb Williams is going to do good. Mm-hmm. But the strength of schedule is going to hurt him. So
yeah, but you also look at it too. Like Bryce Young was able to win the Heisman, and usually Alabama's schedule is not that strong unless they play all they play is like LSU.
I mean, it's just the committee and the SEC favoritism. Yeah. I think McCarthy's going to have a good chance of being the top quarterback. Yeah. Bryce, don't get a big head about that. He's still not going to beat us. But I don't know. I mean, I think Marvin Harrison got ripped off of the Bolitnikoff last year. I mean,
that's fair.
You have Jalen Hyatt or whatever his name was from Tennessee won it, and I mean, I don't really think he deserved it. I mean, I think everyone thought Harrison was the best.
What award was it again?
The Bolitnikoff. I think the majority of people in the country thought Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best receiver. I mean, if he doesn't go out against Georgia in the first half, I think we win that. I mean, because he had 2 or 3 touchdown receptions, and we just were really depleted. I mean, it really hurt not having Jackson Smith-Njigba at all, like all year.
Yeah. And Ohio State. If there's one thing I will say is they know how to make a wide receiver.
Oh, having Brian Hartline come back and be our receiver coach has been huge. We get a lot of good recruits. Our defense is awful. I mean, we've had to really rebuild that, restructure it. I mean, we used to have phenomenal D lines and corners and safeties, and now we're mid. Our best player probably on defense is Tommy Eichenberg, and he's a middle linebacker. I mean, we just don't really have that much on defense right now, which kind of sucks because people pass all over us. We can't defend the run. It's just a matter of how many points we put up on offense.
Yeah, I agree. But I just actually told Alex, about the Harrison getting ripped off thing. He actually agreed. He said, I don't think there's any way he doesn't win it this year. He's going to be in the conversation as a top 3 pick when he declares for the draft. Yeah,
I mean, for sure. I mean, he's an animal. I mean, I knew he was good. I didn't think he was going to be this good. I just wonder if he's going to be hurt by Kyle McCord being the quarterback. I mean, they played with each other in high school, but I was at the game where McCord saw his first couple passes. His first one was a pick 6. His second one was also an interception. So, I mean, a rough start. I mean, it was against Oregon, who at the time was a top 11 or 12 team in the country.
Yeah.
But he looked rough to start. Hopefully he progressed. I mean, this is going to be our first white quarterback in forever.
It's true, because it was Haskins and then, God bless his soul.
I mean, we just had
Fields,
JT Barrett.
Braxton
Braxton Miller.
Miller.
I mean, it's just
CJ, obviously.
Ohio State doesn't like to start them for some reason. I mean, we let Joe Burrow walk.
That's right.
We told Joe Burrow he wasn't good enough to play for us, and he left, won a Heisman and Night Champ. So, was that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Ohio State, and we'll see what happens with Pitt. We'll see what happens with everybody that plays a sport. But we are out of time for this week. I once again, I'm gonna say this again. It's my decision when Alex comes back, and I'm a soldier of the human being. It could be next week, but it could be never. So, just remember, Alex, the next time you decide to violate your contract, a contract is a contract. So, you did this to yourself. So, I don't have paper, so no paper toss this week. So, Isaac, thanks for coming on this week. Hopefully, we can have you. Hopefully, we can have you on closer to football season.
Yeah, I want to be next to Bryce.
Be next to Bryce. Well, I'm gonna see if we can do this because, like last week, our friend Nathaniel that helped us with the show, he actually did it from his laptop, but connected it to where he could be in the studio at the same time.
Okay.
I feel like we can maybe use Google Meet to get you guys on while Alex and I are back in the studio. We don't know if we can do it yet. I'm gonna check with Alex. I'm gonna check with Nathaniel. We'll get it figured out. But I think it'd be pretty cool if we can do it. Like you guys are like the AJ Hawk for some shows. You know what I mean? From the Pat McAfee show. But yeah. So that's all for this week. So we'll see you next week.